Even the word man. The word man is the same word as the word Adam at some places. But then at others, it is not the word Adam, because it is emphasizing a different quality, a different character, as I said. And here it is the word ish, meaning a male. The Greek uses the word aner off of it, and if I think some 40 or 50 times in the New Testament it is the word anthropos in Greek that's used, which you have in English in anthropology and so forth. This is the word for man in verse 23. In Genesis chapter 6, there is a verse that has 3 of the 4 usages of man in one verse. But so far I've only given you 2. Adam and Ish. Adam relates to the original creation. Ish relates to man as just being Adam, being a male man. Then there is the word Enosh, spelled E-N-O-S-H, which is used of man. And this great characteristic of man, the quality is that he is a mortal being, used always in the sense of being a frail person or being depraved. Perhaps I better show you this from chapter 4 first. Verse 26 of chapter 4 has it. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos, E-N-O-S. It's from the word I just gave you, which has an H on the end. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. They called on the name of the Lord long before Enos, but the word Enos, the key is in the word. They called upon the name of the Lord. The original text reads, they called upon their gods by the name of Jehovah. Because Enoch means the depraved, the frail one. And it was at that time that they began to call on the name of their gods, their different gods. They called them also, what? Jehovah. The word Enos again means frail or weak, or as I told you. Then in chapter 5, if you go on here, this is the book of the generations of Adam. Here we give again a summary, like a recapitulation. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created him, blessed them, called their name Adam. Called their name Adam, mankind, in the day when they were created. And Adam lived 130 years and begat in his own likeness after his own image, and called his name Seth. Cain and Abel, remember? Cain slew Abel. Now we have a son called Seth. And the days of Adam after he had begotten Seth were 800 years, and he begat sons and daughters. And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. And Seth lived 105 years, and he, Seth, Adam's son, begat whom? Enos. And that's the only one mentioned in the line, because after that Enos lived something, after he begat 870 years, begat sons and daughters, but he's the only one mentioned, and that is very significant because it was in the days of Enos, man's frailty, man's mortality, man's weakness, man's depravity, that they began to serve other gods, and they called those gods by the name Jehovah. In Genesis 6, in verse 4, King James says there were giants in the earth in those days. That's not 12 feet tall men. Giants of evil. Giants of weakness. Giants of depravity. That's when the sons of God came into the daughters of men. And the word men is the word Adam. It is really the word Adamah, which I'll handle in a minute, but it's the base root is Adam. And they bear children to them. The same became what? Mighty men. And the word mighty men here is the fourth usage of the word man. What's in a name? The fourth usage. And that's the word Geber, spelled G-E-B-E-R. The word Geber were mighty men, not just men who were mortal and depraved, but men who were so depraved, so wicked, that they became men of renown. The same became mighty men, Geber, G-E-B-E-R, which were of old, men of renown. They were Enos. Three usages of the four are in this one verse. That's man, Adam. Take a look at woman in Genesis 2. Back to verse 23. She shall be called, this is what Adam said, she shall be called woman. Woman is the word ish with an A-H on the end. I-S-H-A-H. Isha. That's woman. It's the feminine gender of Ish. She shall be called Isha is the text, and they translate it woman. In chapter 3, in verse 20, it says, and Adam called his wife's name Eve because she was the mother of all living. That's why she was called Eve. The Hebrew word for woman, as I told you in 23, is Isha. Of course, men like to make fun of this because it says woe man for the English, I guess. But it is sort of interesting to me, where did you ever get ha-ha from? H-A-H-A. From the inversion of the feminine from Isha, A-H, to H-A. So woman has always had the laugh on man, and woe man, and so forth. I don't know, but that's, I think from a language point of view, what I've just told you about changing the Isha to the H-A off at the end of it, ha-ha, comes from a corruption of the word in the feminine gender. But it's real significant when you work what's in a name. This woman is Isha, the mother of all living. A unique thing, a very unique thing for the name of a woman. And her name was Eve because she's the mother of all what? Living. That's why in Genesis 1, 26. Talking about man, our image after our likeness, and let them, mankind, have dominion, rulership over the fish of the sea, the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth. Over all the earth. The word for earth here is Adamah. The earth is an Adamah, a feminine gender, because the earth is productive. That's why it's in the feminine. Usage of names and words. In Genesis chapter 6, in verse 10, we have a statement of truth where it says Noah. Other places that they do it Noe, N-O-E. The reason this is in the feminine gender regarding Noah is because there is no record at all of the name of his wife. It just says, if I remember correctly, Noah got on the boat, his wife, their 3 sons, and their wives. So putting it in the feminine tells me, even from the name of Noah, that she went along, the feminine. But there were 3 sons, and this is real significant. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The Hebrew word Shem means the name. Means name. N-A-M-E. That's what Shem means. Means the renowned one. The name. A name of renown. A name of great respect. Understand? But the word Shem literally means the name. But the name of a renowned one. Later on, all the Shemites came out of this bloodline. They dropped the H and they changed it to E and they call it Semitic. All the Semites came out of Shem. How can anyone be prejudiced toward people who are not Semitic? And by calling those people who do not believe in that stuff anti-Semitic. How can you be anti-Semitic to someone who isn't Semitic? Just because you say you are a man won't make you one if you're a woman. Or vice versa. No more so than putting a wheelbarrow into a garage makes it a Cadillac. If you want better gas mileage, pick your own. Just because people say they are Semitic does not make them Semitic. So how in the world can anybody be anti-Semitic when somebody's not Semitic? Just because you write the word Cadillac on a wheelbarrow doesn't make it a Cadillac. No more so than calling yourself a Semitic would make you a Semitic. You're not a Semitic. So how could I be anti-you when you're not anti-Semitic, when you're not Semitic? But that's what the word Shem means. Shemite. Semitic. That's its meaning. And it's the name, a name of renown.